Good morning from Pinckney State Recreation Area on the Blind Lake Loop. It is Monday hike day. It was a rough weather week last week. Only got one hike in, so a little bit behind the 8 ball as far as my hiking goes. A lot of bad weather last week. High wind, some cold and rain. Trail is remarkably dry for all the weather that came through the area. Been a couple muddy spots I found so far, but we're only 3/4 of a mile in. We got a long way to go yet. So, happy Easter Monday and hike on. So we're hiking on Blind Lake Loop, which is about 11.4 miles. Circles by 6 or 7 nice little lakes. I'm interested to hear how the water's running. I can hear it flowing from the recent rains. I gotta watch my steps here. Yeah, water's a little bit high up ahead. Crooked Lake Camp is now open. Looking forward to camping there in the near future. And the water overflow from Crooked comes right through here. You can see how clear the water is. I've only run into one biker so far. Or should I say he almost ran into me. But the day is young. A couple hikers behind me. Alright, hike on. Not quite into mile 2 yet. Now to make the turn on the Potawatomi Potto Trail. I will forever refer it as Potto. Alright, hike on. So temps are chilly 40s with a bit of a breeze. When that sun goes away, it feels really cold, more 30-ish. Looking at Highland Lake, the other cool lakes, cool spots on the trail. Usually a lot of waterfowl out here. If you get here early in the morning, they make a lot of noise. Mud. So I didn't have a whole lot of motivation this morning. Started out very slow, but I'm clipping sub 20 miles with a very light pack and doing a light jog when I can. One of the bridge overlooks Canadian geese out there in the distance. Isn't that pretty? That is awesome. Alright, hike on. So we're on the Potawatomi route on the Blind Lake Plateau. And we're starting to get into a wintry mix. Lost the sun. We're booking it still. I'm really surprised. Sub 20-minute miles. And I'm really liking my water bottle carrier on my little day pack. Super handy. All right, we're coming into Blind Lake and into the final four, which concludes, by the way, tonight. Michigan and Yukon. All right, hike on. Well, it looks like storm got one on the trail here. Serious blowdown here on the Blind Lail, the Blind Trail Loop. This is just coming right out of Blind Lake Campground. So, gotta do a little tricky bypass here. So I'm not sure if that's been reported or not. May stop at the ranger station and let them know. All right, we're into the final 4 miles, that is. Coming up to Bonnie's Pass. Still doing sub 20s, at least for the moment, but topo gets a little more serious here. So I expect I'll slow a little bit. Funny how the hills come right when you're tired the most. Whew. All right, hike on. A tricky turn. I've made the wrong turn a few times. Actually, there's a nice little trail down there that runs along the lake. Did that a couple weeks ago. All right, hike on. About 2.5, 3 to go. Not much further to go. We're at Pickerel Lake. Last lake. And the Squatch Nest. No squatch. And there you have it. The Blind Lake Loop is done. Done. I think I set a new PR. And I wasn't really trying to. I really started out sluggish and didn't really want to hike fast, but just ended up that way. Good day. Now, time for that reward.